Yo guys, welcome back to the Famous Chili Podcast. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Check us out on all platforms at Famous Chili Pod. Prem, you've been busy these last 2 weeks.
What a fumble, bro. What a fumble. What
What
a
a
fumble
fun,
of a mission.
bro. I laid it up for you.
My bad,
You
my
weren't
bad,
there.
my-
You weren't there, man.
Sorry.
You okay?
I'm good. I'm good.
So, Prem, you're back in America, man. Where have you been the last 2 weeks? Let them know.
Bro, I was in Europe. I went to Europe for Michigan spring break. It was a great time. I went to Amsterdam, then I went to Berlin, and then I went to Paris. The way I'd rank it is Paris, then Amsterdam, then Berlin. Had the most fun in Paris just because all my Michigan friends were there, so we all met up. And it was a little bit more degen than the other two places. The other two places was a lot more of like typical traveling. We literally explored every corner of Amsterdam. Berlin was a little bit more like New York, so everything was a lot more sprawled out. We went to a techno rave at night, which was something that, if you know
that's
me,
fun.
I never do. Like, that's something very much outside my comfort zone. They had to tape our cameras shut, like our phone thing.
Oh, shit.
And it was like the second most famous club in like Germany. Like the first one everyone knows, but the second one's like it was in a dungeon down in like a basement.
So you can't
that, like,
film it at all.
Yeah, it was like super
Oh,
weird.
We got to know what's happening in this dungeon that you can't film, man.
Yeah, what's so
No,
weird?
it's just like everyone's just. Oh, I honestly, dude, it was like low key sus. Like the people like the people around us were fine, but like the people on the sides and like kind of like in the corners and stuff were like kind of weird. At least for me. And so that was
Weird how? Like, what's up with them?
like what they were wearing. Like they were definitely on some type of drugs, like any type you can think of, like stuff like that.
I mean, it's Amsterdam. Or Berlin. I
Or
guess, yeah.
Berlin, yeah. Amsterdam was like the red light district. I feel like is very overrated. Like it's very commercialized now. It's not like actual like what you would think. It's just a bunch of sex shows. And then there wasn't a lot of like weed specific stores, but like Ari said, like when we first talked off camera, like a lot of them they just like sell it in the cafe, so it's a lot different than it is here. But I think one thing that was different was I like came home and had like the biggest stomach ache for 2 days because I went from eating really good quality food, like sourced naturally, to like processed food in the US or like stuff that's not as good quality. And like that was definitely tough. But also like I noticed that like everywhere I went, like on a Tuesday, Wednesday, in the middle of the day, people were just out drinking coffee, drinking a beer. Like in America, it's just not like that at all. And I was like, that was like something that was
man.
we just like just grind every single day. Like these people really live life. They're out of the office by like 4:45. Like they don't really care. And there's also a lot of PDA. Like people are very romantic. I know like Amsterdam's a pretty romantic city. Obviously Paris is as well, but like people are just macking everywhere, bro. Like it's just like just there. But the vibes are really good. Berlin was cool because like you get to see like the infrastructure that's still there between the west and the east. So like that was pretty interesting as well. So like there's a lot of culture shocks I had there as well, but luckily it was like what we call the west, so it wasn't too different. But it was a great couple weeks. So
I'm surprised you say Paris won, like, because people literally call it like Paris syndrome, like that it's known to be a letdown. Like people expect Paris to be this crazy good thing, but every time
Really?
you go, it's just an overrated thing.
I've heard that as well, and I think it's the complete opposite. Like people who live there, like obviously are desensitized to the architecture, but like when we got there, bro, the architecture is insane. Like every single building is curated as if it's like a museum, or as if like from the outside it's like really well maintained. That brings out the modern part of the architecture, but also
Yeah.
preserves the ancient side of it. Like if you look at Rome and Italy, it's very ancient. Like you could tell they really haven't changed much, but Paris is like so different in that aspect. Only place that like I was kind of tweaking was like Eiffel Tower area because
I
of
feel like
like
that's the only overrated
pickpocketers
place.
and stuff like that. So like around that area, it wasn't necessarily overrated. It was just like overrated in the sense of like crime. It wasn't very safe, you can tell.
Yeah.
But one thing that was really cool is like when the Eiffel Tower, like after 7 p.m. at the top of every hour for 5 minutes, it sparkles. So we got to see that while the street performers were singing like Counting Stars, Story of My Life, and stuff like that. So it was like a very nice vibe. But that's another thing is like the street performers in Europe, maybe they just care more. Maybe they're not doing it as much for the money, but it's like they're just so much better than like New York or like all these street performers in America. And like it really adds to the vibe that you're there. So it's like,
Oh,
it's
what
really
you're
cool.
telling me the European street performers are better than the guy on the MARTA when I'm coming back from the airport screaming, "I don't want no riches, I want money, bags, and bitches." Like you're telling me he's beating that guy?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, I
Also,
don't know, man. You haven't heard. You've not heard the voice on this
bro.
guy, man.
Pause. But
Wait,
I
what?
What?
Wait,
don't.
wait, 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 pause. Wait, pause. Wait, pause.
What?
I thought
Why
you
is
No,
said.
it
I thought you
pause?
no.
said something
What?
else. I thought you said something else. Never mind.
No, honestly, I do agree with Premier because like I think everyone does say Paris is overrated. The only thing that is overrated is the Eiffel Tower. It does not live up to
Really?
how big it's hyped up. But the town like the town of Paris surrounding it, like all like okay, what I'm trying to say is it looks like a small town coming out of like an old countryside. Like everything is rustic. Like Prem was saying, everything is. Do you not agree? Okay,
Nah,
fine.
not really.
The parts that I went to, so exactly where we were staying, it was in a little bit of a secluded part of Paris, but
Oh,
it
okay.
wasn't that far away from like the Eiffel Tower. So when I went, I was like a kid, but it felt like a really small like rustic town, like full of nice architecture, like you said, like all the buildings were like
From that
really
aspect,
nice
yeah.
and old. Yeah, from that aspect, like the way I got it, it was like really nice. It was a really serene view. The only thing I didn't like was the Eiffel Tower.
Well,
Um,
the thing is like going up the Eiffel Tower. It's like if you look in New York and you go up like the Empire State Building, you get to see all of New York. And like Paris, from that
mm,
aspect, it's like the
I
scene
agree.
and stuff. And at night, it's like cool, but like that's the part I thought it was a little overrated because the skyline really is the Eiffel Tower, right? So you don't want to see
Yeah.
it from the top because like you're not seeing the Eiffel Tower. So like from outside, it's better than going up it. I think that's what Rishi probably means by overrated. I don't know. I could be wrong, but or yeah. And then another thing for us, what we did was the first two cities, so Amsterdam and Berlin, we stayed in hostels. But the third one, we stayed with the grandma and grandpa in like a bed and breakfast. So
Oh,
like
that's really
there,
cute.
yeah. So it's
Sick.
like that was another like out of the box experience that I had, which was they didn't speak any English, but
Mhm.
through their like mybookings.com, which we booked it through, the reviews were really good. So we tried it, bed and breakfast every day, and like they essentially live in a two bedroom apartment.
Mm.
One bedroom's theirs, the other ones they rent out. So we stayed in that one. Then they have like croissants, like jelly jam, a whole nice setup
Damn.
in the morning for us. But for us, we wake up at like 12. So like our setup's that. But like they're super nice. The last day we just went on Google Translate, gave them a nice message to like say bye and stuff.
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
But like so they don't speak English, but they're like very nice people. So it's like pretty nice.
So on the last days when you decided to use Google Translate to talk to the person, so that whole week you're there, you just
Well, no,
didn't
no,
say
no,
anything
no,
to
not the
them.
week. It was like 2 days. We were there for like 2-3 days, but like in
Still,
Paris.
you just didn't say.
Well, the
anything to
first one,
people?
we come in and she just like starts talking. We're like, bro, what the fuck? But like we like figure it out based on like pointing
Mhm.
to stuff.
Okay.
And so that wasn't a biggie. But like we wanted to like actually understand what she meant. We didn't have time to like genuinely sit down with them and get to know their story. But like, um, we did like have a nice conversation with them at the end. So
Dude, I just feel like Europeans are really any non-American country just has so much better hospitality than the United States, bro. Like
I
you go to
very disagree with
Europe,
that.
It depends where
what?
you are, man. It depends
Yeah,
where you
dude.
are. Come to the
Dude,
South.
dude.
The
All right,
South
fine.
people
You know
are
what?
way
You know
nice.
what?
Like,
Maybe I'm talking from like a very biased perspective, but the places I've gone to, I've had nothing but great hospitality. Costa Rican hospitality, insane. European hospitality,
those are places
Switzerland.
where you're in a resort. That's very
No,
different.
no, no,
Yeah.
no, 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 no. I'm talking about like outside the resort, random people we meet on the street.
Oh,
Every
okay.
single person we've talked to, like I remember. So the first day that we landed in Costa Rica, we were driving to another place, right? And we stopped by on the side. There was like this little farmers market. We were there for an hour chatting to the guy, just because he was telling us about all the crops that they grow, like their own history of like his own farm, and we were just eating guava and talking to the guy. And like the thing is, you don't really find that as often in other places as you do outside of the United States. Like all I'm just saying is like you go to a hotel in the United States, you go to a hotel in Europe, it's a very different story.
So here's the thing, right? So the way I would think about it is twofold. One, I had a similar experience in all the places I went to. Everyone was very, very nice. I think Amsterdam, Berlin, people are a little bit more direct, but that doesn't mean they weren't nice. Like they were very nice and everything. I think there's a big like reputation in like Paris, Italy, even Amsterdam, where like people are mean. And I think that's a pretty known stereotype. And that was what I thought was not true. Like everyone was super nice, super
Yeah.
willing. Now, but what I disagree with you, Rishi, on is like when it comes to like hotels and stuff, like in America, like the places you go to hotels, like they aren't typically in the middle of the city. Like they're a little bit out, and like you typically use a car to travel wherever you're going, right? Like maybe like for example, maybe if you're in Vegas and your hotel's like right next to the strip, it's different. It's also Vegas, so it's like a different city compared to most. But
Yeah.
like in other places like Costa Rica or like Paris or Amsterdam, the hostels or the places you're staying are in the city, in the heart of it, because everything's walkable, everything's very compact and dense, right? And so even in if you look at New York, right? New York is probably the one place I agree with you because like yeah, the hotel's gonna be within the city, but because New York's a very like east coast mindset, very hustle bustle, you're gonna find rude people. But I think in most cases it just happens to be like these hotels are within the city. Like if you're in a hotel in the middle of Miami or a hotel in the middle of Dallas or any place in the South, like Ari said, I think you have a very high chance of finding really, really nice people who will guide you, who will show you their history, who will be very proud to be like, oh, wow, there's a foreigner here. I want to teach them about what I'm all about.
I feel
Yeah.
like
Okay.
it depends on the
Sorry. Go
country also a lot. Like I've seen a lot of people online, like from the UK, will say that if they come to America, they feel like people in America are way nicer, but you can tell it's like a fake nice, where because like
ahead.
everything's so based on tipping culture here, everyone is just like trying to
That's
suck up
another
to you.
thing.
Like it's a very different kind of nice that they feel here. Whereas like if you walk the streets of the UK and try to talk to somebody, they'll be like, "Why are you talking to me? Like, what are you doing?" Like, where you might not get that as much here.
Yeah, I was kind of more just like okay, I guess maybe the hotel wasn't the best example. I was talking more of like a like obviously you're gonna find examples where there's where that what like what I'm saying is false. Like there's definitely examples everywhere. But I was talking more of like a, kind of like a general perspective where like the general consensus or the general viewpoint of the United States is that we're worse at hospitalities than most other countries. And like you said, like you go to like one like some of the smaller bed and breakfasts, like you're obviously gonna find like a lot of people that are that give great hospitality. Like I'm sure if I had my own bed and breakfast, I feel like I'd be the same. But I'm just saying like as a whole, based off what I've heard, because we've had conversation with people in other countries and they've shared their viewpoints on the United States, and it's usually never the greatest sentiment. Now, can that be kind of a benefactor of our government, of our people
Yeah, I
being
think it's a
obnoxious
lot to do
itself?
with
It could
that.
be.
Yeah.
It could very much just be that as well. But like that's just based off what I've heard.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about
Anyways,
Amsterdam?
yeah, I want to hear about that.
Well, okay. So the thing with Amsterdam, it's very walkable, and we in every place we went to, the hostels were like we were so lucky where the location was amazing. Like, one of the biggest places in Amsterdam is called something called Food Holland, which is a big ass like food cafeteria. I don't know. Have you guys been to Daisy Galaxy in Edison? It's
No.
basically that, but on steroids. But what Daisy Galaxy is like it's like this like restaurant that has like different stalls or shops from every part of India, right? So
Okay.
you get like from anything
Oh,
from like
cool.
pani
Okay,
puri
okay.
to like dosa, anything, right? It's just different.
Nice.
Same thing
Nice.
with
Nice.
Food Hall, and it's like literal shops, literal store, bigger obviously. Aesthetic is way better, of like different things. Like it's called the beer cart. That's like German beer. Another one's like Thai food, Indian food, stuff like
Oh,
that.
that's nice.
Burgers. So it's
Okay.
like everything. And it was literally a minute walk from our hostel. So like that's a big so like that we were very lucky about that. In Germany, in Berlin, um across the street from us is a very famous bar that essentially has cushions on the backside of the bar, structured in stairs. So every stair is a cushion. So you go all the way to the top, and you just people watch as you look down on the entire bar. So it's like really nice, pretty cool.
Very
We went to India,
condescending.
huh?
Never mind.
Okay. Um,
Of
and we went to an Indian restaurant in Berlin as well.
course we did.
The hospitality was awesome. Like the people were really nice. I think one thing with I think European restaurants in general was their kitchens are not on the same floor as the people's dining. It's always in the basement. So a
How big
lot of
is
the
your sample
restaurants
size there,
I
bro?
went to, like not all of them, like some of them, right? Like 50% of
Okay.
them, like
Okay.
people like waiters have to go down in the kitchen, bring food up the stairs, and then go to people to serve them. Paris was like that. Berlin was like that. Amsterdam was
Yeah,
a little
that
bit
makes
different.
sense.
Also Amsterdam, the thing was like our first day, we came on a red eye, so we were just super tired. It was just like 45 degrees every day in Amsterdam.
Mm.
But we biked. We took a train 15 minutes out to like a windmill town that everyone goes to during April, May because of the tulip season. And that it's a very artsy aesthetic city, which is why I like loved it a lot. It's also a very museum esque city. Like a lot of museums. We went to Van Gogh. the Rijksmuseum, which is like their big museum. We went to the Anne Frank house, which is insane. So there's stuff like that, very like historical, artsy. So you get great photos, and it's just a great aesthetic.
Dude.
Is that
Okay.
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, sorry. I was just saying that like I kind of want to hear more of the more juicy stories about your trip
Yeah.
because I
I
feel
don't want to
like
hear about this tulip season,
yeah,
bro.
like,
Come on.
I don't care about the stuff like for example, before you share yours, I have like a mini story of when I went to
Please.
Paris. So I was like kind of a kid here, but it's kind of like a pickpocket story. I remember you were talking about pickpockets. So we were actually on the local bus, and we're hopping on the local bus. And the bus stopped for like some reason. I was sitting with my dad, like my grandparents, whatever. The bus stopped for some reason, and we were like wondering what's happened. There was some commotion going on outside, right? So we're like, all right, what's going on? So this dude who looks like really raggedy, really like long hair, like really weird, like someone who like kind of looks homeless. Yeah, that was that guy. So apparently this dude had stolen some woman's purse, and he was running away. And so he ran onto the bus from the front entrance, ran through the bus to the back, and then we were sitting right in like this is like me sitting right here, and the door is like the back
Oh
door is
my
like right
god.
here on the side, right? And so obviously I'm sitting back like nice and relaxed, and my dad, like, what's going on? This guy runs through, comes out the back entrance, right? So obviously my feet are there, right there, smack dab in front of the door. So inadvertently, while running out the back door, the guy trips on my foot.
Oh my
All the way.
god.
So obviously, you must know that I'm feeling some sort of aura after that, right? Like I stopped like a pickpocket in some like weird way.
Bro couldn't even spell aura in that time, bro.
No, I was like 12, dude. It
Oh.
wasn't like that one. I was
So
like
so
12,
you
15.
stopped a robber.
You
But
stopped the
kind of.
robber.
Oh, see, this is not the funny part of the story. So essentially, he's on the ground. He gets back up and starts running. The bus hasn't moved yet because I think the bus driver is watching what's going on too because it was kind of funny. So essentially, at some point, right outside the bus, he gets stopped. And the funniest part is, I don't know how this band of people came together or how these many people came together and found this guy, but he got stopped, pushed down to the ground by a group of like 8 women, and they started beating him and kicking.
Hell
Like
yeah.
they started kicking him, and they started taking their purses and beating the crap out of him.
Oh my
shit.
Going
god.
ham at him on the ground, and we witnessed the entire thing. That honestly made my day. That actually,
Yeah, no
made my
shit.
day
That would
when I
make your
saw that.
year, bro. You'd be
So-
like,
So
Yeah.
you're a hero, man.
I'm a hero, yeah. Like I'm somewhat of a hero. Like some would say I would be a hero in most cases.
so
yeah.
some would say you
Put
should get
that
the
on the
Medal of
hand,
Honor.
bro. Yeah.
So-
Yeah, exactly, something like that. So yeah, that was my cutesy Paris story.
That's great. Mine was definitely nothing like that, but for me it was we're going past the Eiffel Tower and like we're supposed to go down this like subway station, right? Like the subway steps.
Mhm.
And we see this like again homeless type raggedy guy yelling in French, right? And like even when he's yelling it sounds romantic because like the French language is so romantic, right? But we know he's so mad. And we're like, okay, we're not gonna go down those steps, we'll go down another one. So we're like leaving and he just like starts throwing trash down the steps.
Oh,
Like,
how romantic, man.
And he just starts like throwing shit down the steps. We're like, bro, what the hell is going on? And then like the cops came and stuff, but like it was just like a weird thing. Again, this
Dude,
I can't
I've seen
follow.
worse in New York on like a regular like New York day, bro. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
honestly, there wasn't a lot. I did almost throw up at a club. That was one thing, but that was about it. That was
You
like
just
there's
ate a lot
nothing
of bad
else.
food. Ate a lot of bad food.
Well, no, I drank a lot, and then this is one of the most famous clubs in Europe. It's called Pachamama. Shout out. It's like a 5-story club. The fifth story was closed, but we went to all 4 levels. And there was like a metal bowl in front of me. And like I was basically like hurling in the metal bowl. Just a random metal bowl in this club. And I'm like, bro, what is going on? It's because I had a Jaeger bomb.
Oh.
And I was like, bro, what is happening? And I started talking to some like really tall French dude. And like it turns out he's coming to Houston next year and he's like moving.
Oh wow.
And I'm like, bro, what the and then we ended up going to this other bar, right? Like there's a street of bars, like as if any city does. And like there's this like one girl there, and she's like constantly coming to my group and like asking us, oh, does anyone want to get a drink? Anyone want to get a drink? One of my friends ends up going with her to get a drink.
Random
And
European girl.
some European girl tells one of my friends to come and get a drink. So both of them go, and they both order a drink, and then my friend goes, like, if you ask someone to get a drink, like, that means you're paying for the drink, right?
Yeah,
And
right.
she's like, so who's paying for the drink? And my friend goes, you, because you asked for it. She's like, no. She takes the drink and dips. She just runs out. She runs out of the bar, right? She runs out of the bar. And we're like, bro, what the hell? My friend comes back and she goes, bro, that was the weirdest shit I've ever seen. Because she runs back. While we're talking, she comes back as if nothing happened. She comes back as if nothing happened. And like the bouncer's like kind of sus. She's like, bro, you ran out, you're coming back. Somehow gets in and then she's just there. And then like I'm like, bro, why are you here after like you basically just stole a drink? So like that was a weird moment.
I would
And then of
low-key
course,
be pressed. I would be so
yeah,
pressed.
as a bar owner, I'd be pressed too. And then another thing in that bar she was like people were like recruiting us to go to bars. Like they're like,
Oh,
oh
yeah,
my
yeah.
like I did not know that was a
Wait,
thing.
you
They're like,
guys?
yeah, they're like guys
That's the
come
thing for, like,
like
girls, a lot of people will do
yeah,
that.
but just in general, just because we're in a group full of girls, so it was, I guess it was like our entire group. But they're like, and we just kept negotiating. They're like, oh, like you'll get one free shot on us. And we're like, no, this bar is telling us 5 free shots. Like, give us more and shit. So we're like haggling with them. It was so funny. And then Berlin, obviously, like the rave, that was super weird. I was like, I thought I was gonna die, low key. And then Amsterdam, low key was a dud. It was dud night because like we went out to a really like waterfront bar, which was really nice. And then after we went to a club, and my friend got rejected, even though it's like 18 plus, and he got rejected. I don't know why. And then went to another club and it was just dead. So like Amsterdam was low key a dead. But
Damn.
Berlin, and Paris was popping though. So
Damn,
Well,
dude. That's actually
think-
making me kind of feel FOMO from like not doing anything over spring break right now because like I would
nah,
love
but
to
dude,
be,
I walked like on average over 18,000 steps a day.
That's
So like,
I'll walk
Yeah.
20,000 steps a day if I'm in a different country, but I don't care.
yeah, I
You
don't
know,
care. Like my thing, I don't care about like you get tired as hell. And then, oh, this is the funniest thing. We're waiting for our bag right at EWR on the way back, and me and my friend who I went with, we were like, oh, like this is a great trip. Like nothing really went wrong, right? Like we didn't
Nice. Good job, bro.
like we didn't
The jinx
go late.
continues.
We didn't go late. No, I didn't say that. He said that. And we're like
Inadvertently
talking about like,
stated.
oh, we didn't miss a flight. We didn't do this. We didn't do that. Lo and behold, we get our bags, and the customs guy's like, I need to search everything. So he not only searches my bag, he searches my check-in bag, he searches my friend's bag, and it's not like he just takes stuff and then like puts it. He starts throwing shit. He just starts throwing
come
shit, and I'm like, bro, we like meticulously packed everything, and now
This
you're
is
just like
Newark,
throwing,
right?
huh?
This is Newark.
This is EWR after an
Yep,
8-hour
yep.
flight back home.
Yep.
And I'm like, dude, I'm not like, I only slept for 2 hours. Like, I don't want to deal with this. And then we had to put everything. It was like a shit show. I was like, dude, like, what? He just
I
kept
have a
looking.
question. I have a question. So if you're not dark skinned, what did you do to make him hate you, bro? Because if it wasn't racism, then you must have done something to make him hate you.
No idea, bro. I mean, I honestly, it was one of those random custom checks, bro. I swear. Like, I had
Power trip,
nothing.
bro. Power trip for
Yeah,
what,
random,
dude?
Random.
I don't know, man.
Bro, is it just me, or is like going through an airport like one of the most stressful things? Why is everybody
security?
So pressed?
Yeah.
Why are they so pressed? Like,
Yeah.
what?
Wait, I've never really had that experience.
Dude, anytime you go to Newark, especially Newark Terminal C, you know, it's always Terminal C. If you go through Terminal C, I've not once had a normal experience where they're not yelling at you. Like,
Really?
Well,
take off your clothes. Take
yeah,
off your shoes. Like,
take off your
shoes.
clothes.
Shoes,
What?
shoes, shoes,
Bro,
calm down,
what?
calm down,
Okay,
calm
all
down.
right. I don't know what experience you're having. I'm not having the same one, dude.
I bet
Bro,
your shoes. I bet your shoes.
Yeah, who's man?
Dude, that is not what's happened to me ever. Flying at EWR, they're always so.
Dude,
Whoa,
nice.
wait. Do you have
Everybody's
TSA
so
pre-check, Ari?
pressed. No.
Do you have TSA? That's why I have TSA pre.
That's why, bro. You're not as rich as me,
Okay,
bro.
bro.
That's
Yeah,
why.
I'm
Come on,
sorry.
bro. You don't
No,
have
so, like,
TSA
but-
check. Oh shit.
No,
TSA pre-check.
CSAT check. CSAT. No, I mean it's still stressful though because they're like, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up.
But like, okay, here's a question. Now, this is why our parents are always right every single time. Most of the time, I'm flying
Get
somewhere.
to the
I'm going
airport
with
early.
my family gets to the airport early. How early are you getting to the airport? Which is kind of resonates to how stressed you're going to be.
I'd
No,
say
but
so.
dude,
Domestic, hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yes.
Okay.
that's fine.
International,
That's fine.
3.
3
hours.
hours.
That is acceptable to me. That is acceptable.
Yeah.
You know, that's what they recommend. Like, so I'm fine with doing that. I get pressed when it's like
7 hours.
Go 7 hours before. You know, I don't.
Our
think my
flight's at
parents would
10
do that
p.m. We
too
get there at
much.
12.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that sounds like a great trip, man.
Yeah, man, it was great.
Hoping we all get to travel more. But while you're talking about Paris, there's a certain French man who did something recently.
Oh, that's a great segue.
Yeah.
Mr. Timothee Chalamet himself.
Oh, is he French? I did not know.
He is
that.
French. He is French.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's not
Like,
actually French. He's just his last name.
He's
is-
French.
He wasn't born in France.
No, not born in France. He can speak French. His family's French.
He could speak French, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You
Okay.
learn something new every day.
Yeah. But did you guys see Timothee Chalamet's speech at the
Yep.
SAG Awards? Dude,
That was
fire.
Pretty inspiring.
That was actually crazy. I don't know what it was about it to me. Like, dude, I actually love him so much. Like, he
Glaze.
just seems like one of the most genuine people.
Hella
like,
glaze, bro.
bro,
Holy
come on,
shit.
no, dude.
Zip
Timothee
it up when you're
Chalamet
done,
seems
bro.
so-
Holy
dude,
fuck,
come
bro.
on.
Yo, he seems like
Oh
one of the
my
most
God.
genuine people on earth, bro. Dude.
Oh
Come
my
on,
crap,
come on,
that's
come on,
insane
dude.
glaze, bro.
Dude, he's such a good. I didn't follow like the hype around him too much until I watched Dune.
Bro's knees are
Ever
bruised.
ever
Holy
since
fuck.
Dune, I've just been obsessed.
Dude.
Like, dude, he's
Yeah, we
so
can tell, bro.
fucking out.
Yeah, we can tell, dude. Holy crap.
Obsessed is kind of crazy. I thought the speech was good, but like obsessed is
No, okay,
crazy.
like, but,
bro.
specifically the speech, right? Specifically the speech. What I liked most about it is just that he didn't give a shit about what's considered like the standard okay thing to
Yeah.
say. Like, everybody, when they get the award, they have to be humble about it. They have to say like, "Oh, thank you so much. I don't think I deserve this." You know, it's all
Yeah.
like, it's such a fake facade that they put up. He just went up there and just like said it straight how he's thinking. He's like,
I don't think it's
I'm-
fake. That's not
I'm
true,
bullshit.
dude. I don't think it's fake. I don't think a lot of people like.
exactly, yeah. People can be
It's not-
genuinely
dude,
happy to thank
people
people,
are gen-
and
and
feel
people-
grateful and feel
but-
humble.
Yeah, but it is generic. I agree with you. It is generic, but it's not
No,
fake.
I'm not saying fake, but people will never admit. Otherwise, why do you not see people say this kind of stuff often? How often do you?
Because
Really
they
see
get
people
clowned
say-
for it.
How often do you really see people say that I am trying to be the best? I am.
Let
trying
me
to
Right.
give you a
go hard
perfect
for this.
example.
I'm
Let me give you
trying
a
to do
perfect
this.
example. Let me explain this to you, right? Timothee Chalamet was trying to Oramax, right? Whatever.
No,
if you want to make fun of me,
Bro,
Just
shut
listen-
up,
listen to me,
Hrishi.
listen-
Actually,
listen-
my
shut
God,
the fuck
oh my
up.
God.
listen to me.
Bro,
Listen
are
to me.
you
Listen
10
to
years
me.
old, bro? Like,
Listen to me.
Bro,
listen to me. Listen
were
to me.
you
Oh,
the
shut up,
child that
shut
was
up.
trick or treating on Ari's porch, bro?
Oh my
Are you one
God,
of those
dude.
kids?
Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me. Whatever words I used, you have to understand. You know what I'm trying to say behind it. He was trying to Oramax in the sense that he was trying to make himself look. Dude, it's the same thing. What Jason Tatum did when they won the championship. He said, "We did it."
That is not the same
Chill,
thing.
chill,
That
chill,
is
chill,
not
chill,
the
chill.
same thing at all.
Every corny line that
there's
Jason
no way-
Tatum
There's
says-
no way you just compared that to that. There's no way you just compared
Timothee Chalamet's speech
to
was
Jason Tatum.
extremely,
Okay, wait, let him finish,
extremely
let him finish.
corny. It was very corny. It was very corny because he's comparing himself to people that, you know, he's not there yet. And sure, it's fine. He says that he wants to be there someday. But once again, it's one of those idealistic things. Jason Tatum does the same thing. Whenever he does something good, he talks about being one of the greats. And then people clown at him saying, "Oh, we did
No,
it.
he
We
doesn't.
did it."
What he does is copy the greats. What that's this you're making Ari's point. Ari's
person
point
is
was
paying
wait.
respect.
I got
Another
this.
person just
Ari's
copying.
point Ari's point is his speech was different than everyone else's. And what Jason Tatum does is do what everyone else does. Right? What Ari's saying, and I agree with him, is his speech was so great because he spoke about things that is like the elephant in the room that no one addresses, which is people never talk about. I never say what they're actually doing, which is chasing greatness, right? Chasing the people who have built Hollywood, who have built the acting industry. He talked about I poured 3 years into that Bob Dylan movie, and I'm gonna continue to work hard in order to get to the extra level. What Jason Tatum does, he just copies what Kobe Bryant and all these people did. Wait, real quick though, this is my point, right? I think based on that speech, I think what happened a couple weeks later in the Oscars was a disservice to him, right? He was so good in the Bob Dylan movie. He's been good in Dune and Dune 2. Yet he was robbed, in my opinion, of the Best Actor award. It went to Adrian Brody, and Adrian Brody actually holds the record for the youngest person to win that award. And he was 30 years old, I think. Chalamet right now is 29. And I don't think they wanted to give it to someone who's in their 20s. The same thing happened to Leonardo DiCaprio when he was in his 20s, because he was by far the best actor. I forgot which movie. And he was robbed of that. And he finally got it later, I think for The Revenant. And it was much later in his career. And I think it's just like politics being played that led to Timothee Chalamet being robbed of Best Actor this year.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, what I was saying, Rishi, is it's also just resonates well with me, because how often do you guys get told? I feel like this is also like a kind of like a immigrant mindset thing, where it's like you have to downplay the work that goes into what you achieve. Like people, I see so many people who feel like they have to say like, no, we didn't. Oh no, this comes easy to me. Like this is just, I don't have to work too hard for it. We just do it. Like they have to constantly downplay what they're doing. It's taboo to talk about your achievements. It's taboo to talk about what you're working towards. People always, how many times
Yeah.
have you been told in your life, don't go around saying that you're doing this thing. Don't go brag about this thing. Oh, don't make it seem like you're constantly working. No, no, no. But he didn't give a shit. He said it straight how it is. I want to be the best, and I'm putting in the work to be the best. This is just extra. This is going to be extra fuel to help me keep going. And what means a lot of it, it means a lot to him, because the SAG Awards is not like determined by some separate board of people. The SAG Awards is voted on by other actors. So this is his peers giving him the recognition that you do deserve this. Like, you need to keep going. We recognize the work you've put in, and you deserve this.
And
Okay,
Hrishi,
yeah. No, sorry,
go
go ahead.
Yeah. No, you got it.
No, I was just saying I'm going to play devil's advocate on that, and I'm just going to agree with the immigrant mindset in the sense that there's a reason that they tell you to do that, is because it could very much backfire. Someone who is
That was my
so
point.
hard on
Yep,
the public,
I'm happy you brought
someone
that.
who's so like loud on the public stage and so at the forefront of the public stage, someone like Timothée Chalamet, like in today's day and age, it is sad the way it is, because people, you know, take your words and they pick them apart and they use them against you as soon as the smallest thing goes wrong, right? Why do you think a lot of these actors came up so fast, came up so nicely? Because they actually, talked less and actually worked harder on the movies. And I'm not trying to take anything away from Timothée Chalamet, because don't get me wrong, I think he's a great actor, but I think there's a reason they say you move in silence, and that's because it can't be used against you. Now, let's say he has a shit movie. What are they going to do? They're going to bring up the clips of him and this speech and then talk about him being like, oh, you talked about being great. Now, what about this? And what's only going to happen? They're going to turn it against him, and he's only going to get shit on more and more. If he works in silence, people are already recognizing his greatness. He doesn't need to point it out. And there's a reason the majority of people are humble when they're on those speeches.
And real quick, Ari, real quick, Ari, I was just gonna say, I think that adds to Ari's level of credence, right? Which is the point I'm trying to make, which is like he said that out loud, right? Like him saying that out loud, yeah, it adds pressure to him because now he's publicly talking about that. But that also means that like he has the courage and he actually believes that, right? And like think about it, when people like Kobe or people like Ant Edwards now talking about I'm the best in the league, like they publicly say that stuff, that's pressure on them, because if they backfire, like you said, they're gonna get shit on even more, right? And so like
no Lyles.
Yeah, and like you putting yourself and like holding yourself to that marquee standard makes you that marquee that now you're chasing, right? You're chasing the greatest, and you're not competing against your peers. You're competing against past greats.
Yeah,
right. Like Ant Edwards saying that means you're getting compared to MJ. You're getting compared to LeBron. Same way with Chalamet, right? You're getting, not that DiCaprio's done, but like getting compared to DiCaprio, getting compared to other great actors, right? So it's very much like putting yourself up there, and you are now the target. And if you're able to answer that call, that makes you that marquee. And that's what he's trying to do, is like build that platform where he's confident in his own abilities. And if he's able to deliver, that target is on his back, but he delivered the goods to get there. Right.
And also, it's the way he did it. He did it in a calm, like humble way, talking about his aspiration. Not that
it wasn't pretentious. Yeah, I can agree.
It's not like Noah Lyles saying, "Oh, world champ of what?"
Yeah.
Or LeBron noting himself as the chosen one, as the king. He's not being arrogant about it. He did it in generally the most like perfect way, where he stayed humble, just acknowledged that this is his goal, and addressed the elephant in the room, and addressed a taboo that is there in not just this industry, but in most people's lives, where you feel like you can't actually talk about what you're doing. But he broke that barrier down. And
no.
And I'm going to do it, and I'll do it in a way that still stays true to me and stays humble about it.
No. Like I completely get your point, but the only reason I'm talking about the opposite side of that is just because he is kind of on the peak of where he is in his current years of acting. Like after all the movies he's done, I feel like he's here, right? And a lot of the time, most actors don't go just straight, straight up from there. There's always a downturn in their acting career where they fall off for a bit. And I feel like, after you have such a great movie, I feel like it's better to be humble about it rather than, and then, like you said, like he didn't say it in a pretentious way that like if something truly bad happens, it won't fully backfire on him. But I feel like, he put himself on too high of a pedestal, which I just don't think he'll personally reach right now, because today people are more critical. There's a lot more sources where you can be critical, like so a lot more platforms where you can be critical about it. And I feel like, just kind of moving in the dark, and then once like you don't need to say it yourself, you want other people to talk about you in that way.
That's
what I'm
fair.
saying? That's the only thing I'm trying to
Yeah.
the only thing
That's
I'm
fair,
trying to
but my I guess my point is just like, if you have the courage enough to put yourself on that pedestal and really bank on your own performances to become that marquee, which he just did by calling himself out as like one of the greats, or like trying to be that great,
Yeah.
and you believe in yourself, that's why you're doing it, and then you actually deliver, that automatically puts you in that marquee category.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no, I can agree. I'm just saying it's just like you have to really tread lightly when you say stuff like that, especially saying on such a global stage like the SAG Awards. Like you really just do have to tread lightly. But like I said, like he could have been so much worse about it, and he could have been super pretentious on that stage. He very much has the right to do it because he really is that good of an actor. But it's just sometimes scary because that can lead to like even a bigger fall off, and then people might forget about Timothee Chalamet. Like for example, like have you ever heard The Rock talk though? And maybe you have, maybe I haven't heard
Yes.
about it, but maybe that's what I'm saying. Maybe I just haven't
Probably.
heard about
Yeah.
it. But like the people like The Rock, like now they have if Timothée Chalamet is where The Rock is in life right now, talk about all you want about being the great, because
Dude, there's no way you were comparing Timothée Chalamet's acting to The Rock. Are you kidding me?
dude, come on, like you like credit where credit's due, bro. Like The
Dude,
Rock
you
is
cannot be serious right now. Come on,
media.
bro. Like, oh my god. Are you serious?
He is the corniest actor there may be, but dude, he is in films left and
Who?
right.
Who's the corniest actor?
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Oh, okay.
You
you
think
don't
he's a
think he's
corny
corny?
actor,
No.
bro?
I wouldn't say he's corny. He's typecasted. I wouldn't say he's corny.
Okay, sure.
But
Yeah,
he can sometimes.
Wait, what do you mean
He's definitely good.
typecasted? What does that mean?
Like he plays the same role in every movie. Same as like how Kevin Hart gets typecasted.
Okay.
Like there's people
Will
who
Ferrell.
will be.
Oh my
Yeah,
god,
Will
I
Ferrell
hate
gets
Will
typecasted.
Ferrell. By the way,
What?
I hate Will Ferrell. I do not think he's funny. I don't think he's
There's
funny at
no
all.
way you just said that.
One of my
Will
friends
Ferrell, bro.
brought this like you ever see the episode of How I Met
Well,
Your
wait,
Mother?
Pharrell Williams is the happy guy,
Oh,
right?
my,
Will
oh my god.
and Will Ferrell is the anchorman guy, right? Just making sure.
Yes.
Yeah, I love Will. Will Ferrell is typecast. I think Kevin Hart showed more range. I think Rock has showed more range recently.
Yeah. Will Ferrell's
Will Ferrell's
But
definitely
he is a comedy actor. Like
he's not funny.
Yeah, but the same shit it's the same ironic
Really
shit
not
every
funny,
time.
bro. He
I
plays
guess,
he
yeah.
plays the sad character in every movie. Like you just feel pitiful when you see Will Ferrell. Like what I was saying. Like you guys ever seen the How I Met Your Mother episode where they like they point something out, like the glass bricks, and then now
Yeah.
they can't unsee it. So one of my friends pointed that out to me like 2 weeks ago, that like Will Ferrell's not funny. I was like, what? What do you mean, dude? Will Ferrell's funny. And then I put on a movie of his, and I sat there and I didn't laugh once during the entire movie. I was like, oh my god,
I think he's
right.
funny.
No, but
Like, Will
you're
Ferrell is
going
just,
in
like,
trying not to
he's-
laugh at that point. Like
Oh no! Why would I try not to laugh?
also, I don't know if it's just me, but like I feel like a lot of comedy movies, like with that style of comedy, just aren't that. They're not like laugh out loud funny. It's just like
No, they're not. There's
lighthearted,
forced.
like-
It's forced.
yeah, it is
Yeah.
like that, but that's like on purpose,
I think Anchorman was kind of like that a little bit. I think like Step Brothers was really funny. I thought that was a funny movie.
Step Brothers, I think that was a great movie. It's also just like once again we come back to the debate of like nostalgia and like classic. Like it's like one of the classic Will Ferrell movies.
Oh,
No, but I'm talking about because I
wow.
watched it for the first time like recently in the last 3 years.
Really?
So like yeah. So I remember like the first time it was pretty funny. But yeah, it's kind of like that dry humor type thing.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
I think Hrishi's just like butthurt that he tried to replace Michael Scott.
Oh yeah.
Dude, he can never ever replace Michael Scott. I want you to know that right now, dude. Like even him in The Office, like do you guys not feel like that was forced comedy? Even though
But that
was the point. That was the
That
point.
was the point. That
That's
was
what I'm
literally
trying
what
to
The
say.
Office is.
What I'm trying to say, but you can feel like I just don't laugh when he makes jokes. Like if Michael Scott makes jokes, even though I know it's forced comedy, I laugh. It's just
Maybe.
like his character just doesn't give me the same vibes as other comedy characters do.
Okay, that's fair. Will Ferrell, I love you, man. Like I think he's a goat in that space at least. Dude, when he's in the office, and I just love that scene where he tries to like dunk from the MJ dunk
Okay, that
from the
was kind
half
of
court
funny,
line,
actually.
and he can't
And
do
then
it.
misses.
You
That was
know,
actually kind of
speaking of
funny.
somebody else who has zero ball abilities,
Bro, that was such a bad segue, bro. Oh my god.
Yeah, dude, that was not good.
Oh my god.
Maybe a little forced.
Okay, wait. All right, let's talk about this, right? Let's talk about this context that happened. So, essentially, two marquees, one in media, Stephen A. Smith,
He
and
loves the
one.
word marquee.
bro loves the word marquee, man.
It's actually
Bro,
it's my word of the day, so I have to
Buzzword,
use it at least 5
buzzwords,
times.
bro.
yeah.
And LeBron James, obviously the face of the NBA right now,
Another marquee. Don't forget that.
another marquee. Basically, a couple months ago, Stephen A. Smith on First Take said that he's pleading as a father to LeBron to not put Bronny through starting and not starting through playing in NBA games. Rather, go through the G League, right, and develop. And because he said as a father, essentially targeting LeBron as a father, LeBron took offense to that. And what happened last week, Friday, mind you, this was the day that Stephen A's new contract was released, where he got 5 year, $100 million.
was it?
Same day, that night, he was actually with Larry David and
I
the
love him, bro.
founder or the chairman of Stephen A's agency. He was with both of them at the Lakers game versus the Knicks in Los Angeles at the sideline. Fourth quarter, not even the beginning of the game, not the end of the game. Fourth quarter, LeBron sees Stephen A on the bench. He goes up to him and confronts him and says, "Keep my son's name out your mouth," basically, right? Will
Keep my
Smith
name in
style.
your damn mouth.
And then Stephen A goes on a multitude of podcasts and basically talks about that moment. Just before we get into that, what do you guys think of what happened? Was LeBron right? Was Stephen A right? What do you guys think?
Look, right? We're not parents, right? So we don't know what it feels like. But he's a player. Bronny is an NBA player. There are pundits, there's gonna be people like talking about the players. Bronny has to be treated the same way. He can't get special treatment because he's LeBron's son again. Like he said it how it is. That is his job. He can't lie. He can't make up something. He can't just ignore this player who's on the team. If any other player is playing the same way Bronny was, Stephen A would have to say the same thing. The only reason maybe I could see that he overstepped is because, like Prem said, he said it as a father. Which maybe because then maybe LeBron could take it as you insulting his like parenting. But I think Stephen A is not in the wrong here at all, and I don't think it's in LeBron's right to come out. Like LeBron can be angry, but I don't think you can go around pressing Stephen A Smith to keep his name out his mouth. When that is his job. Like he has a right to do that. That is what he's being paid to do. That is his job.
Risha, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I honestly, I fully agree. I feel like LeBron is kind of having a little sense of entitlement here, just because, once again, going back to he was the chosen one, into he's the king, into the GOAT debate. He got his son into the league. Now, obviously he has some sort of pull in the NBA and people listen to what he says, but, it comes down to LeBron has a job to do, Bronny has a job to do, Stephen A has a job to do, and they're all doing their jobs. Now, what Stephen A's job to do is to create controversy, and he does it well by being loud and, having egregious takes. And, a lot of people get butthurt by that. But, like the only reason this is more in the spotlight is because this is LeBron. Like if it was some other random player in the NBA, I'm sure they would fire back the same to Stephen A. Smith as LeBron did. But people are only talking about it because someone attacked LeBron, and the community doesn't like that because once again they put LeBron on a pedestal compared to every other NBA player. But I fully agree with what Ari said. Like they're all within bounds to say what they want to say because it's just opinionated at that point. But Stephen A. is not wrong either.
Yeah, so I think for me, there's two sides, right? Like one is Stephen A. like doing his job, whatever you guys said, completely agree. The other is like as a father, right? And so like everyone, like Dwayne Wade, because he has relationships with Stephen A. and LeBron, said that I would have pulled up on your ass too, right? Like I would have, as a father, like I probably would have done the same thing. Which is why Stephen A. wasn't mad about that. He was rather sad because LeBron interpreted it as him going against or targeting Bronny, and Stephen A. was like, "No, I was talking about you, right?" And Ari, what you said was my initial thoughts, right? Like he's doing his job, but at the same time, it sounded like he was targeting LeBron as a parent, which goes into the personal side of things. And that's when he has a right to confront him. However, after listening to some of the podcasts Stephen A was on after the confrontation, my view changed on that, because what he talked about was the fact that how did Bronny get into this league, right? It was him publicly saying that wherever Bronny gets drafted, I want to play for that team, right? Publicly saying Bronny's better than 50% or some of the NBA players that are currently playing, right? That puts puts a target on Bronny's back, but also Bron is using his leverage as a father to get Bronny into the league. So once you do that, that puts your relationship as a father into the public light. And at that point, you can use that or you can criticize that aspect of it, right?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
because
think it's ever okay to insult someone's like parenting.
it's not about parenting, though. It's not about parenting. It's the fact that he used his status as a father to bring his son into the league, who frankly didn't deserve it, right? And so just saying, just that one principle allows you to then critique how that platform is being used for Bronny, right? In this case, that platform is being used for Bronny to play in NBA games instead of G League games. And like you said, when he's playing like shit, when he's averaging 1 point a game in the NBA, you got to talk about it, because as Stephen A and his platform, you got to talk about it, right? And so that's when I thought was, okay, Stephen A has a point. Like Bronny playing on these games was a conduit of his father, right? And because of that, as a father, then you can kind of mention, pleading as a father. I think the way he said it is obviously, again, like Hrishi said, a little bit dramatized, but like his message, I think, was right.
Yeah, no,
That's the thing. I think it's literally like Stephen A is allowed to say what he said. He can say what he wants, and the same way he's allowed to say what he wants because it's his job. Bronny's a parent; he has that right to go up there and address it to his face, and I respect that he did that. I'm sure if it was a similar situation with us, we'll never be in that situation. But if that was a situation, I'm sure
my son's gonna be the next fucking LaMelo Ball.
Yeah, and are you gonna be LeBron James? Like you're also gonna be in the league with him? Like,
hey, never say never, bro.
No, never say never.
Yeah, so like that's what I'm saying. Like LeBron has the right to do that. I think both people could have handled it better. Like Stephen A, he can't just not talk about Bronny. Like you can't just not do it. But it's the way you talk about it, right? And again, that's why he makes the money he does. Is because he's abrasive. It's because he's so controversial. It's the way he stirs up drama. And I mean, I didn't know the thing about his contract just starting, but what a way to bring in the viewers on the start of your new contract,
Yeah, no, 100%. And dude, but honestly, I feel like once again, like I feel like LeBron's feeling a little entitled here. Like what both of you guys said. Why is Bronny in the league? It's because of his father. Now, was Stephen A attacking his like day-to-day life of Bronny's upbringing? No. He probably thinks Bronny is a great human being. No one was attacking, their human decency.
He also never went to a single game of Bronny's in high school or college because he's like, I don't want to put that spotlight on him.
Who, LeBron? Right?
Stephen A.
No, Stephen A.
Oh, Stephen A. Yeah. But like that's what I'm saying. Like he wasn't attacking them personally. He was just attacking the entitlement that they have. And LeBron knew it as soon as he went in for the NBA draft straight out of high school. He knew that he was going to be on the public stage for the rest of his life. Every single part of his life is going to be displayed out there. And Stephen A's job as a pundit, whether it's football, basketball, soccer, whatever it is to expose that and create content. That's what he's getting paid the big bucks for. And I feel like LeBron, you can't take that to heart, man. You've been in this league for 26, 27 years, 25 years, whatever it is. I feel like he should be used to that now. And once again, the sense of entitlement when it comes to his son, he just feels like he has to protect him and then just keep Bronny in good graces of everyone. And it's just like, I honestly feel like LeBron is kind of in the wrong here as well.
I think I wanted to bring up one point. You kept mentioning entitlement. That made me think about something else, which was not only LeBron, but entitlement of all NBA players right now. I think because of the fact that their contracts have become so exorbitant and the fact that they're making so much money, load management has become a big part of these on a day-to-day basis of the NBA. Teams are getting fined for not starting players, right, that they otherwise should be, ultimately reducing the product, right? There was noise about ratings going down earlier in the season. Now it's obviously fine. Everything's great because now people have something to play for. But in the course of an 82-game schedule, it's going to be dry points in the season. And All-Star Game really was the peak of that, where people were embarrassed to see where the All-Star Game was right now. And so I think, what do you guys think about the entitlement? How do you think that could be fixed for the NBA? Because that I think is a big problem, especially with the commissioner being very player friendly. And sure, you want to be that, but I think one thing Stephen A said I thought was really interesting was players are treating the NBA as a bank instead of a partnership. When they're making all this money from sponsors and TV ads, like you got to be a partner and promote the product in the All-Star game when you have no money at stake, right? When it's simply to promote the game, you're a partner. You're not there. You're not doing everything for the money. Some of that stuff is to promote the brand for the next generation of players so that they can get even better contracts. The same way Magic, Larry Bird, Kobe, MJ sacrificed and did a lot of things so that you can get that exorbitant amount of money, right?
Wait, I'm so glad you brought up that point, because I believe that's not only the NBA, that's the only league that does that. And I hate to tangent off your original question, but I feel like one of the biggest and worst examples of that is the WNBA. And on top of that, it's Angel Reese. No, like once again, I hate bringing it up. I hate bringing it up, but like, for example, I don't know if you guys saw the clip.
For this one.
Look, it's nothing controversial. I'm not making fun of anybody. I'm just making fun of Angel Reese and Angel Reese only, because she's not.
I'm not making fun of anybody. Proceeds to make fun of Angel Reese.
Dude, I feel like she has the biggest sense of entitlement more than anyone. Like you said, it's about promoting the brand, right? She, like, for example, Angel Reese is all about promoting herself. Caitlin Clark is the reason she's going to be making more and more money in this league, and she's constantly complaining about why she's not at the forefront of the league.
No, she's going to sit out if she doesn't make enough money. Remember that.
That's what I'm talking about, dude. She's talking about sitting out if she's not making enough money. Dude, you make so much goddamn money because you are first a social media icon. People watch you all the time. Like, let's be honest.
Well, they don't make a lot of money.
What, dude? She's definitely models. She
she
definitely
does
does like a
well,
podcast. She did like Instagram,
she
like
has her own
brand
podcast,
deals.
like,
She definitely does well outside of the WNBA. Is what
She's
I'm
not
saying.
struggling.
Okay.
She's not struggling.
She's not struggling by any means, right? So if you're coming down to the point of where you're complaining for your salary, that's a big problem. But like, it's literally like you said. Like, for example, Prem, if $300 million was put in front of you, I feel like any single one of us would get greedy and excited at the chance of taking that money. And money changes people. That's the biggest problem. The more money that gets funneled into these players' lives, the more greedy they're going to get, and the less they're going to care about the NBA's image themselves and more about building their personal brand, because that's kind of just a product of social media recently. It's more about building the personal brand rather than, the image of the league itself.
Thing.
And I feel like that's the biggest problem. Now it's all about me, 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 me. Everyone wants to be the face of the league, and that's kind of the problem.
And that might be a product also of the comments. That's also a problem of the comments, right? Like, not only LeBron with like Stephen A sensitivity, but like other people, when people are like talking about the game and people get sensitive about, oh, why'd you say this about me? Why'd you say that about me? Because it hurts their personal brand, and that can ultimately affect them financially.
Exactly.
I might not know enough about the whole Angel Reese Caitlin Clark thing, but Angel Reese is a massive star within the WNBA.
But she's trash. She's a star, but she is terrible.
Then why is she so famous?
Because of the rivalry with Caitlin Clark in college.
No, she was good at LSU.
I knew about Angel Reese before that. Like,
you knew about Angel Reese before the rivalry between her and Caitlin Clark?
Were they in the same year?
Yeah.
Oh, then probably not.
There's no way. I
thought she was the year before her. Never mind then.
No.
Okay.
No, she got boosted into the public image when she was at LSU, her final years at LSU, when they were playing in that championship. They beat her. And, dude, like, I've seen clips of Angel Reese still bring up that championship to this day when she's playing Caitlin Clark. Like, she'll still make signs about it whenever she makes a shot.
However you build the attention, you need two people in a rivalry.
One villain and one hero.
But is it a rivalry if only one person's beating the other person?
Yeah, dude, yo, I'm telling you, like, if you're watching, you got to search up Angel Reese lowlights. Like, she is the definition of stat pattern.
Her highlights are her lowlights.
Her highlights are no, you don't understand. She is atrocious as a player. She cannot even make a layup, and she is talking about sitting out of games. Like, come on, bro. Like, how far does entitlement
she can't
really
be that
get
bad?
Prem, come on, you got to back me up here.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
You got to back me up here. She
just has size. She has size.
So what? There's nobody. So who besides Caitlin Clark then? Who's like number two then?
Breanna Stewart, Aja Wilson. There's a bunch of really good players.
Yeah.
Oh, so
There's
is Angel Reese just like really loud and like good at getting her name out there, which is why
yeah.
everybody knows
Well, no,
her?
she was good in college. She was good in college.
She
That's
was
why, and
what
her
tall. She was
rivalry
everybody
with
more
knows her.
Caitlin
aggressive.
Clark was good. But dude, stuff doesn't translate to the pros, right? And like Caitlin
Yeah.
Clark is also a shooter, and like
Mm.
Angel Reese, well, Rishi's point is like Angel Reese, like, oh, I was just as important in getting all this new NBA, WNBA publicity as Caitlin Clark, when in reality you
Oh,
weren't.
I just
You
yeah,
just
that's
got that
wild.
publicity in college because of that rivalry, and people were like, sure, that rivalry might translate to the pros and make it the new Larry Bird, Magic Johnson of the WNBA, but that never materialized because Angel Reese wasn't good in the WNBA.
no, but by the number, if she is very famous, like I'm
Yeah,
sure
no,
she
by
is
the
bringing
numbers
a
she's
lot of
good.
Famous. She's
attention.
famous.
No,
She's
by the
famous.
numbers
No,
she's
that's what I'm saying,
good.
but that's her point. She's not talking about her skill necessarily. She's talking about the eyes brought to the WNBA. She's not arguing specifically just about the talent. She was saying that people are only watching the WNBA because of Caitlin Clark. No, they're watching it because of me too.
The
That's literally
problem
what
is
she
she
said in
wasn't
her thing.
arguing, she was complaining. That's the biggest problem. Dude, she just wants to everyone in the WNBA wants to victimize themselves and then make a villain out of Caitlin Clark.
No, that's
Wait, what
true.
did I say? What
No,
did I
you're
say
right. I
that's
think you're
wrong?
right. That
What did I say that's wrong?
no,
Nothing.
nothing.
You're fine.
Nothing. You're actually that's
Yeah,
actually very
no,
true.
you're fine.
No, continue. That's actually a very good point.
Yeah.
Like I'm not trying to discredit anybody. I'm just saying that, like, for example, like me myself, why did I start watching college women's basketball? Because a flashy player came up on my Instagram page, and I'm like, okay, this part of the game is now developing, like any other game would too, right? Like for example, why did I start watching the NBA? There was a specific player that I'd watched, Kawhi Leonard, that got me to start watching the NBA. Before that, I didn't start
You
watching.
started watching the NBA because of Kawhi Leonard?
Yeah, it's what it is. Like I watched him
Damn.
on the Raptors. That's when I really started watching. He was my favorite player when he won the championship the year of the Raptors. So like I'm saying, there's one player that reels you in, and that person for most people is Caitlin Clark because A, she's flashy,
Yep.
B, she's good, and C, she's not the villain. So people idolize the hero in that scenario. Like you see so many of these girls like try to injure her, and like once again, it could just be the media just like misinterpreting things and putting things on my feed to make it seem like everyone else is the villain. But this is the type of videos that I'm seeing. I see a lot of it. Like they try to
No,
injure
and
her. They try to
I think
victimize
just
themselves.
just to put the cherry on top, I think the biggest thing is also like you said, like Caitlin Clark is low-key becoming the cash cow, right? Like she's the one. They're now getting private jets everywhere. That was because
Yeah,
of Caitlin Clark,
really?
right?
Yeah.
That's because of Caitlin Clark.
All teams or just the
No,
Spurs?
all teams. And like between games and stuff, and it's very much like yeah, it's because of Caitlin Clark, but it's also like why are you trying to destroy her? She's the cash cow. Why are you trying to destroy her? Right? Like there was a whole debate I remember when Olympics was going on about why isn't Caitlin Clark on the team? And people were like, oh, she's not good enough. When in reality, she was good enough. A,
Oh
B,
yeah, that was
B,
crazy.
she doesn't even have to start, but she doesn't have to play. Put her as the 15th best player on the team. But because she herself, that brand is now in the eyes of the
Yeah.
WNBA, that will allow so many more eyeballs in the WNBA, so much more marketing, so much more sponsorship. They'll help the entire WNBA. Why are people hurting the one thing that's actually bringing more benefits, more money to the WNBA? I think that's kind of the cherry on top for Rishi's point, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, that's all I'm trying to say. Like once again, no one's ever they always feel like people are discrediting the WNBA, but it's literally just it's the numbers, right? You look at
all the
the
numbers.
leagues that bring in the most revenue every single year. The WNBA is at the bottom, below every single other sport.
They're
Like
not
every
profitable.
other, they're not profitable at all. Like so, there's a point where Angel Reese has to realize that she's actually not even wrong. The reason people are watching WNBA is because of her. But the more she victimizes herself, the more people start to hate her, right?
Yep.
And so I feel like her and Caitlin Clark together need to help build the image of the NBA. Back to what Prem was saying, his original point. I know we've gone down like several tangents based off that, but the original point is no one cares about the league image anymore, and the people who need it the most is the WNBA. The entire league image that needs to be grown over their own personal brands first.
Okay, but what do you want her to do then to do that? Does she need to be singing the praises of Caitlin Clark? Like
No,
this
work on
at
her
the end of
game.
at the end of the day, does doing this not bring more eyes to the game, which is the ultimate goal? Yes, it's drama. Yes, you might not like it, but you need some people have to accept the fact that there are villains and things like this. Like people put on facades, people have to be this way in order to bring attention. People are
Sure,
like
yeah,
this,
I agree.
and that
I
brings more
agree.
eyes. You're not going to be happy about it, but you're going to watch. Think
I
about it now.
agree.
Right now, what are we talking about? Would we have talked about this otherwise? No.
No, but the biggest problem is like she's not good. She doesn't have the game to back up her being the villain. She can be the villain all she wants.
That's
People
a big
can hate
point.
her on all she wants, but she doesn't have the game to back it up.
She has the
takes a step back.
numbers. She doesn't have the game.
She doesn't
There's
have
a
the game,
difference.
bro. Like that's what I'm saying.
Because like she has the numbers to be a decent. She has the numbers to be a like she was
Like a role
in
player.
contention for rookie of the year, but she's not on the level of like Caitlyn, Aja Wilson, Brianna Stewart, all these people. And like if you're talking that much and you're trying to be the face, you got to be on that level, right?
Yeah, like your game has to back up what you're talking about.
Not quite the Timothee Chalamet level to back up the statement.
Well, like I'll give you an example, right? Like she's like a Tyrese Halliburton, but like that's not the face of the league, right? And like that's the point.
Okay.
But anyway,
But she's good, but not that great. Yeah.
yeah.
No.
I love Tyrese Halliburton though.
I
Anyway,
do.
so yeah, this is one thing I want to talk about because we're on the sports topic. One thing that I was really pissed about, right? Very pissed about a couple of days ago is so I started playing 2K, right? And I started playing like my GM on 2K. And I'm telling you, bro, I make the best teams, right? Like I'm making young, really. I had like John Morant, Paolo Banchero, and like fucking Jalen Brunson all on the same team, right? Like insane team, like really good. Midway through, the fucking owner says I'm fired, right? Like midway through,
Bro got
okay.
fired in a video game.
Then I get put into the Rockets. I get Jalen Brunson from my old team, put him in the Rockets, get Paul George, get all these people. Really good team. I go like 29-2 or some shit. Get fired again. Right? And I'm like, what is going on? I don't understand. Right?
Welcome to the CS job market, man.
And I'm like, bro, what is going on? And then I look at my sliders. There's no GM firing setting, nothing. Right? Then that got me thinking. Then I'm like, oh, you know what? Fuck this. Let me play Madden. Right? I play Madden. Same shit over and over again, right? Okay, granted, I've been old Madden, but like even the new ones, like some of my friends have been saying, it's like not that good, right? FIFA recently, like thank God, FIFA 25 got good, but before that, it was not good either, right? MLB The Show historically has been terrible, right? What?
I don't know about historically.
Like the last 5-7 years has been pretty bad.
Okay, yeah.
And that got me thinking. I'm like, guys. What is going on with sports gaming, guys? Like, come on. Like, it's every year it's the same shit, right? All that changes is the roster, right? Because like you update the teams, and B is the cover of the game, right?
Nah. The new Madden, the mechanics are very different. Very different. Dude, I don't know who's telling you that the new Madden is bad. They're just not good at the game. Oh shit. Sorry, Sai. Like they may not just be good at the game. It's just like the only reason people don't like it as much is because like the reason is because for so many years they didn't change anything but the rosters and the cover.
Yes.
And everyone got so used to the old game mechanics. So they changed up the game mechanics and it feels weird and people don't like it. But they added it's a lot more crisper. Like in terms of like Madden, for example, there's a lot more like options you can do on the field in terms of like audibles, in terms of like, you know, juke moves and stuff like that. Like
I know you could pump fake now, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, you can do all that. Like
that
you know, like the throw that Patrick Mahomes does, like as he's like falling like that. Like they added new animations to the game. Cool. You know, like the game.
Yeah, but like okay, like sure, you go from like the whip of Odell to like the gritty. Sure, like okay, that doesn't change.
Animation.
But what do you want? What do you want?
Yeah, wait, what else do you want in the game?
You have to realize you're not playing like a story-based game where like you're gonna get some new content with each game that comes out.
But it should be like
you're not
this is a bad
change the game. You know?
No, but this is a bad example. But it should be like Apple, where like something should happen with every new iPhone. Not that it does, but something should.
They add a new camera every now and then.
Yeah, or some shit. I don't know, but like if I knew what I wanted, I'd be getting a job there and doing some shit there. I don't know, just like make it better, bro.
You want like different game modes, like
game modes make MUT better. Make like Madden Ultimate Team better.
What Madden are you playing? Let me ask you this. What Madden are you playing?
I'm playing 19, but I've played 25 and 24. No. I've played the new ones. I've played the new ones. It's very much the same.
Bro. They have new game modes. They have those. They have the draft 3 players, like the 3 superstars, and then run like the 1v1 game modes. Like first to 3
One thing I
touchdowns.
wish they brought back, because I played Madden 9. One thing I want them to bring back is head coach like speakers. They did that in 2009, which was really cool. Like every time you'd play, you'd like click a play. What they would do is they'd have
I
as if
remember
as
this
if
now.
as if
Yeah,
you
yeah,
were
yeah,
wearing a
yeah,
helmet
yeah.
and the head coach was communicating with you from the sidelines. So you'd be like, okay, here's the coverage now. See what you can do with by pressing X or pressing A or whatever the button was. It's like that I thought was really cool that they could bring back. Also new modes like they keep doing the same Halloween fear shit and like the Christmas stuff. Like change the art, change the way they go about like the themes and stuff. Also, one more thing, change the market. I don't know how you can do that, but change it. Because in April, whenever like Madden kind of goes out of favor, every single card tanks in value, right? And so try finding some way to keep it the same. Have more events from April through July during the down season, right before the new Madden comes out. Stuff like that to keep it going, right? What I loved in Madden 19 or 20, they had a whole other storyline where you go, it's kind of like All American. You go from like high school all the way to college and stuff.
That's
I don't know if
that.
they still have that, but that was a cool storyline as well. Stuff like that, you know.
Dude,
But like,
I don't know. Yeah.
to me, like the things you're saying that are like improvements, to me, it's just they just have you trapped. If you want the game, you're going to get it, and you'll pay the $60 just to have the new roster. Realistically, if you just
That's what
if
that
you want to
is.
have the right roster, that's all that's all you're paying for. You're paying for a new roster. The game is the exact same every time, which is why I've not gotten any sports games since I don't even know when.
Yeah,
Like,
me too.
Which is why all you got to do is rearrange the teams. All you gotta do is, but then the overalls are still the same. So I guess like that's the biggest things, like roster and overall update.
Honestly, like it's exactly what you said. EA is like Apple. They'll give you a small update in every single game, something small, and gradually over time, the entire game mechanics will change. Like as in, like for example, you're playing Madden 19 to Madden
Well, they'll make
25.
one
the game
major
has changed.
mechanic change every 5
Yeah,
years. Like
and
that's
they'll
what
do
you're
it,
saying.
and
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like that changes how you play the game. Like for example, if you're the thing is like we're not very hardcore Madden players. Like we'll play with our buddies sometimes, or like whenever we're bored, we'll pull out Madden. Like I haven't played Madden in a long time. But like if you're a hardcore person who's grinding MUT, who's grinding Ultimate Team, you're a person who plays this game so much, gets used to the same mechanics every single year, and then they change it. So there's always some new addition to the game, and I feel like the updated roster is a big thing. And something new that they've been doing is bringing back college football as well. So now people are hyped for the college football games
Oh,
instead
that is
of the
great.
Madden. And
That is something.
college football is fun. NCAA is fun, dude.
is
It's
that
fun.
That
is
is
that
fun.
in is that going to be in Madden, or is that
No,
gonna
no,
be a
no,
separate
that's its
game,
own
like
game
how,
now.
like how the
It's
basketball
separate game,
one
but it's
is?
EA.
Shout out
So-
Donovan Edwards. He was the cover of the first one. Go Blue.
Mm.
Um,
Did you see the new cover this year? It's
Who is it?
Jeremiah Smith and dude Ryan Williams from
OSU guy.
Alabama.
Fuck that.
Yeah,
Fuck him.
both rookie wide receivers.
Oh, Ryan Williams,
Ryan Williams, yeah,
the
Ryan
Alabama
Williams and
guy.
Jeremiah Smith, yeah. Those
Yeah.
guys are monsters. Absolutely deserve to
Yeah.
be on that cover.
I want, but what they're smart though is they made that game only available on PS5. So a lot of people were getting PS5s because of that.
Oh my god. Dude,
Yeah.
honestly, like to your point, I feel like games as a whole have just declined recently. Like especially
Well, we're
for
also older, so it's different. Like our appeal.
No, honestly, like maybe I might be different than you guys, but I used to religiously play like Xbox games like a lot growing up.
I
Like,
played
used to
Madden
play-
every day from like 6th to
Yeah,
8th grade.
I played like games, but I was never like a gamer. Like I would love, like I would play Pokemon, and I would go to my friends. Like I played Minecraft. Like,
Your game
Yeah,
was Kumon.
I was never. Yeah.
All right, bro.
You know that meme of like oh, what's his name? Islam what's his last name?
Microchef.
Microchef.
Nurgle Meta.
You know that meme where it's like, oh, you want me to change him? Send him Dagestan. 2-3
Second
months.
Dagestan, 2-3
That is
years.
Send him
Do-
Kumon,
call-
2-3 months. Send him Kumon,
Call him every 6 months. Yeah.
Send him Kumon, 2-3 months. We'll fix him. You know, like-
I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, what I was saying is like the scope of game has changed. Like games are not as fun as they used to be. Maybe it's because a product of us being older, but I still
Yeah.
feel like I get excited at new games. Like GTA 6, for example. is
Bro,
a
that
game
shit.
I'm-
Bro, every single anything major happens, it's like, oh, this happened before GTA 6
Yeah,
every
before
time.
GTA 6, right? Like I think it's funny. But the thing is I have so like I have so many memories tied to GTA 5. Like I have so many memories tied to Fortnite. So like games like those, like if they come out with a new version, I'm gonna be playing those games. But other than that, like
Yeah.
none of us really grew up playing PC games, so we're not like we don't have as much like exposure to like PC games. There's too many games out there. for you to play. Like I feel like some of my friends aren't playing on PC. They still play games pretty often because there's always new stimulation to do or to play.
Also, I feel like those require too much focus. Also, like those actually like
Yeah,
requires
like
skill.
Minecraft
Like,
PC is kind of
like
crazy.
when we're
Yeah.
just playing games, we just want to chill. I feel like you're
Yep.
just trying to relax and
kind
just
of,
have fun.
not really.
I'm
pretty
not
hardcore
trying to
too.
like destroy somebody when I'm playing, or even then, like even when I used to play like Black Ops and like Call of Duty, like and I'll play online. Like I'm doing it just to like relax and have fun. I wasn't sitting there trying to prestige on my guns or anything.
No,
Get
Black
the-
Ops
I'm
is a
down.
little.
like,
Black
I'm
Ops
down
is
for
stressful,
that.
bro.
no, it
I'm not
was
gonna lie.
stressful, but that was fun. Like, but like right now, I wouldn't do that. Like, the only games now I would play are generally just Pokemon, and that's because like again, I would never pick up a new game now. Like, it's only if it's a continuation of a game that I've played before.
Yeah.
Like a franchise that I've stuck with.
Yeah.
I can't imagine myself just picking up a brand new game and loving it.
I kind of disagree on that. So I started playing some PC games with my friends. Like every now and then. I'm talking more like last year. I haven't really played in like
What
6-7
games?
months. But we played. So we played a game. Well, I haven't played yet, but I've seen videos on a game called Lockdown Protocol.
I
And
have heard that's good.
yeah, Lockdown Protocol.
Yeah.
Like my friends have been raving about that game. Another one is shoot, I'm completely blanking on the name, but essentially the premise of the game is that you're part of this company called The Company. And essentially you're like, so you go and find like trash or like items on different islands and you bring them back and give them to the company and like it's called Lethal Company. The game's called Lethal Company. It's a fun like
You did tell me
multiplayer
about
game.
this, yeah.
Yeah, Lethal Company, like games like that is like pretty fun. There's a lot of like solo adventure games that also look kind of fun. Oh, and like honestly, I think one of my favorite games of all time, which I've barely played but I still put it up there, is Sea of Thieves. Not for the joke. I mean, like
Oh,
Sea of Thieves is genuinely such a good game that they developed. So I feel like if I started playing a
Prem,
game
do you
like
know
that,
that
I
game?
feel like I'd get back into it.
What game do you not know?
Sea
All
of
of them,
Thieves.
probably.
Rishi, you want to do it?
Yeah, see if these balls fit in your mouth, idiot.
Good one.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think that's that's the sign that we call it.
Yeah,
Guys,
we were fried now.
thank you so much for watching this episode. I had so much fun on this. We talked about a lot of great topics. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe on all of our platforms. And until next time, see you guys. Peace.
see you boys.